into my kitchen. Okay, that sounds terrible. You see what happens. Hello and welcome back into my kitchen. As you know, this month is all about acknowledging women and their amazing stories. Today I have Alison Coates in my kitchen, and she's here because I'm so inspired by how she moved from corporate to running her own business. And I know how hard it is, and I'm sure today, by hearing what Alison has to share, that it will inspire those of you who perhaps are thinking about starting your own business. So Alison, welcome to my kitchen and thank you for coming to chat today.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. It's really great to be here.
It's lovely to see you, and I'd love for you to share with us how it all came about, corporate to doing your own thing.
Yeah, it was a big, brave move, as anyone who's thinking about going into their own business might be feeling. But it was at the back of my mind for many years.
Okay.
A lot of people had told me throughout my career that I should be doing this for myself rather than working for a big corporate. But I loved the corporate life, really enjoyed it. I learned a lot, I got great experience, I made amazing friends. So it was a good place for me to be, and I wasn't unhappy for many, many years, but I was very definitely a corporate girl, and I worked all the hours God created. I traveled a lot, I stayed in a lot of hotels for work, and I gave up a lot of my own personal time, and I think a little bit of myself in those years as well, to my career. And it got to the point where I think I had just run out of steam for that type of energy and that type of effort. I was also working for a very different company at the time when I decided to really think about stepping out of corporate and it's almost like stepping out of a bit of a security blanket, isn't it? But I'd taken a few steps in the 2 years before leaving. I had retrained as a life coach.
Okay.
Although my original degree when I left school was as an industrial psychologist, I had never really practiced in that field for many years because I got into management consulting.
Okay.
So although I used my degree, I didn't practice in the field other than the first few years after my internship. And I really felt a drawing, a desire to move back into that space. So I retrained as a life coach. And I started attending a lot of networking events just to put some feelers out there around what was available, what different people were doing in Durban. And it was at one of those networking events that I met a lady who does emotional intelligence certification.
Okay.
And
so now it's giving you direction.
Yes. So and it all just I think it was really lucky because it fell into place really neatly, which then gave me the confidence to make the decision to move out of corporate.
Okay. So sorry, just going back, so you had sort of done the life coach thing while you were still in corporate?
Yes.
Okay, so you hadn't yet stepped out. And just going back to that, when you say life coach, where was your focus going? Did you want to help people in how? What way?
So I think I already had identified that staying in corporate wasn't going to be my long-term goal any longer. I don't know, maybe it was, in fact, it wasn't a maybe. I know that as I got closer and closer to turning 50,
big driving force. Yes.
It was what next.
Okay.
And sometimes these milestone events happen in our life to force a decision.
Yes.
So
that was where you started.
Yeah. So
okay, sorry, and then you met this lady.
Next year is the big 5-0. So for me, it's kind of like I feel like I've had a great 25 years and now this is my second career.
Oh, wow. Okay. And it's for you?
Yes, it's for me.
Wonderful.
But at the back of my mind, it's all the people all along who've said to me, the skills that I have and the knowledge and experience that I have, there's nothing stopping me from packaging it together. So then the decision was made and I left corporate January 2019, thinking that on the 1st of February 2019, the doors would be open and the clients would just start coming.
Yes. flow in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Little did we know that there was quite a journey to be taken in that first year, because I knew nothing about running my own business. I knew everything about helping other people run successful businesses and successful corporates, but I knew nothing about running my own business. Doing my first tax return, scheduling my first meeting with the cold prospects, all of these things that you don't ever anticipate, you have to go and do. You actually have to go and do these things, these big scary things.
Yeah.
And I think my biggest lesson is, and it's a saying that we often use in coaching, you don't know what you don't know till you know it.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth?
Yeah. So there was a lot of going and finding out information about how to do things.
And was that scary?
Hugely.
Was that
hugely?
Yeah.
And also I think for somebody who had always been one of the go-to people for information and knowledge, suddenly I didn't have that knowledge anymore. So it took quite a lot of my own to keep my self-esteem in check and to keep just trusting the process. Trust the process. There's a start and there's a finish, and I'm somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, and just
almost
keep
like one
trusting.
step at a time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That's actually valuable advice,
Yeah.
because our thinking takes us into a big picture, whereas if you just take baby steps.
And it's very easy. There's so much information out there, and there's so many people selling courses, selling, 6 minutes to become a 6-figure earner course type thing, which is just ridiculous. So you have to really keep that magpie brain in check, looking out for the next shiny thing, and really be sensible about where you spend your time. Because I have to admit, I did spend a lot of my time in those early days really buying into and being tempted by these fancy looking but quite empty courses on how to run your own business. So my one piece of advice would be very careful about being enticed into some of these different courses or different coaching, business coaching, things that people are selling, especially in online.
So a bit of trusting your gut again, coming up.
And also
know what's for you, what works for you.
Absolutely, know what works for you. So I learned, like I know for myself that I actually needed a very strong business coach to help me with what do I do? What's my first step? What's my second step? What's my third step?
Okay.
And somebody to really hold me accountable. So the best decision I made last year, and it was because I spoke to a number of people and I got some advice from people who had kind of done a similar thing to me or were going through a similar transition, even in their own business.
Okay. And that helped.
And that did
steer you as well, I should
100%.
imagine.
So it was the best money that I spent last year and the beginning of this year, and the best decision that I made for me.
Okay.
And for just getting myself on the right footing to get my business started.
Up and running.
Because I thought that I started my business on the 1st of February 2019, but I actually didn't.
That was the start of your journey.
Yes.
So you have to have patience in starting your own business.
100%. And then the other thing is just honestly network and connect with as many people as you can.
Yeah.
You never know.
Because no one knows you there unless you actually put yourself out.
You never know where your next bright idea or your next collaboration or your next helping hand along the way is going to come from.
Yeah.
People who you thought, or people who I thought were completely even outside of my niche or where I'm focused, have been the biggest help to me in my business. So that's another piece of advice, is really network, but network not for business, network for connection.
Yeah. Just to be inquisitive.
Yes.
Curiosity. It's actually a great thing.
Yeah.
Because it grows our minds as well. Yeah. Okay, and then in starting your business, what has been the hardest thing for you as a person? What have you had to push yourself with, or, that's tough?
The hardest thing was the realization that I actually knew very little.
Oh gosh, was that a bit of a slap to the face?
Yes, it was a little bit. Because, and I'm not saying that I know nothing, because of course I've got all my years of experience. But what I needed to do was package that and make it appealing for my clients, and package that and make it marketable in my language with my story. And understand and just accept that I actually knew nothing about running or starting a business. So I had to go and get that support and help and knowledge from somebody else. And that was quite a big thing from like I said, from a self-esteem perspective. So it's just reminding yourself daily to be confident, trust the process.
Don't give up.
Don't give up, and don't let that negative Nancy take over the world.
Gosh, so it's like really keeping yourself in check, hands on the steering wheel and baby steps.
Yes, I like that, hands on the steering wheel.
Well, we have to. And actually, one of the things you've just said, which is I see so much with my clients, is that it's so much easier to help other people and much harder when it's about you and your life and how you're going to progress. So well done for your perseverance, and honestly, I wish you all the best with your business. I know you're going to do well, because you truly inspire me with what you've done, and I look forward to seeing where next as you go on your journey. So thank you very much for being here today.
It's a pleasure.
It's lovely to have you. Thank you, Alison.
To share.
It's been great. Thank you. We really enjoyed your story. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Eve.
Perfect. Sorry, I get this in my face. Like, wrap it up, girl. That was lovely. Perfect.
Cool.
And really valuable lessons in little pieces. Alison took us on a wonderful journey today of how she started her own business. She shared tips with us on just what it takes. Perseverance. Don't give up. Keep yourself in check. Don't be distracted by all those things that are thrown at you. And trust the process. She mentioned that one saying, you don't know what you don't know until you know. And that's quite a refreshing statement to keep in your mind as you go along your journey. Alison is the last guest in my kitchen for this series, but the good news is there will be a whole bunch of new guests coming in with a whole different topic range. So please keep your eye on social media for the next series, due out in September. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen today.